So we restart the Samapan. What was the first bhajan in the around 5th or 6th of July 2006? Definitely must be his Guruji's bhajan, maybe Ganesha Ganesha. Second bhajan was, of course, Guru Hamare Man Mandir mein. First must be Ganesha Ganesha. Ganesha Namo Om. Namami Ganapati Om. 2006 to 2021. Long journey. So we will play the bhajan. Those who join late, it should not be a problem because in any case, we will be posting. He shall be posting the bhajan separately in the group after the satsang, so they can listen to it. This is the bhajan. Shri Mahaganapatim Manasa Smarami. Pahi Gajanana Namostute. Buddhi Pradayaka Mangaladayaka Siddhi Vinayaka Gajanana Varasiddhi Vinayaka Gajanana. Gajanana Sai Gajanana. Gajanana Sai Gajanana. O mind, engage yourself in incessant smaranam, deep meditation on the greatest Lord Maha Ganapati. Ganesha, we worship you as a Lord with supreme power. You always protect us from all miseries. The greatest of the miseries being our getting caught up in this samsara due to our avidya, ego. Protect us, rescue us, take us out from this greatest misery of miseries, our ignorance. To realize you and to realize us as the very divine self on this most auspicious Ganesh Chaturthi day. We also pray you to bestow upon us pure intelligence, Mangaladayaka, all auspiciousness, Siddhi Vinayaka, all spiritual power and strength to all of us. The word Maha, the significance of this word was first discovered, first known by him when he was going to Ribhu Gita, where two very, very important at two places this Maha, maybe at more places. One was Maha Maunam. He had not heard this before. We had heard only Maunam or silence. Maha Maunam, great silence. The great silence is the state post self realization, great silence. And hitherto, he had heard until that time only satsang. And there was an expression, Mahatsang, greatest Sangha, Mahatsang. Maha simply means greatest and can represent a very distinguished, incomparable status. Maha Ganapati is hence the greatest great Ganesha. There are several Ganapatis as he flipped through various explanations on Ganesha. Anyway, we will not get into that. Great Ganesha. How Ganesha was born, how Parvati made that Ganesh, that idol sit there while she went to bath, and all those stories from Balvikas onwards we have been hearing. Every one of us know. And how he won over the competition with Kartikaya, every one of us know. What are the various battles he fought, we all know. So, without repeating all those which we all are supposed to know and we all very much know, the aim and the prayer and the intention given to him through his Sadguru Sai was to touch upon some rare aspects of Ganesha or God in general on this auspicious Ganesh Chaturthi day. It should be a very brief satsang. Swami says, who is Vinayaka? Vinayaka, I quote Swami, Vinayaka is the leader of the universe. There is no leader above him. He is the leader of all, and master of all. Vinayaka or Ganesha or Ganapati or Vigneshwara all indicate the elephant god who is worshipped as the very first deity before regularly beginning any ceremony, any function, any occasion. He is the Pranava Om. All words emanate from Om. Why is such a preeminence accorded to Ganapati? Swami narrates a beautiful story. Well, we are not getting into this story. From a distance, if you could have a glimpse of the young Sai with his Sai Gita, Bala Sai, beautiful, enchanting Mohana Sai. We are not getting into the story. Pahi Gajanana is one of the lines in today's bhajan, right? Swami explains the significance of Gajanana in a very unique way, which only an avatar can give. He is relating this Gajanana with reference to the goal of human birth. How? Swami says, I quote, Gajanana is another appropriate name for Ganesha. The derivative meaning of Gajanana is Ga, Gamyam, goal, Ja, Janma, birth, Anana means face. So this name indicates that Ganesh is not merely one who has the face of an elephant, as commonly understood. He is a deity that enables us to be face to face, Anana, with God, who is the goal of human birth, Gamyam, Ga. Human birth, Janma. How beautiful, how beautiful. Swami has always been giving us new interpretations to old classic themes. On the Vinayaka Chaturthi festival day, 6th September 1997, Swami says, Mouse symbolizes darkness, which means ignorance. Mouse moves about in darkness only and not in light. Therefore, the inner meaning of mouse being Vinayaka's vehicle is that he subdues the ignorance. Parvati means Prithvi or earth. So when we say Ganapati is Parvati's son, it means he is the son of the earth. Partha, Arjuna's another name, also means son of the soil. Every man is born of the earth. So everyone is Ganapati. Ganapati means the master of Ganas. What are these Ganas? The 10 senses, mind and intellect. These 12 are the Dwadasha Adityas, or the 12 Ganas, of which Ganapati is the Lord. So we all are Ganapati. I unquote Swami. We all are Ganapati's sons of this soil, and we all are having this great issues of our 10 senses and mind, not issues. We are bestowed with the 10 senses, mind, and intellect. And when instead of turning towards God, when we turn our senses, mind, intellect towards the samsara, towards the objective universe, like he sits on the mouse, he crushes our ignorance so that the mind, intellect, and the senses, 10 senses, can be turned towards God. As Swami says, it all depends on which direction you change, you turn the key. You turn the key inwards. That means you come to me. You key, you Turn the key outward, that means you go to the world. He is also adored, Swami continues, he is also adored as Siddhi Vinayaka and Buddhi Vinayaka. Both are covered in today's bhajan. In some texts, Siddhi and Buddhi are referred to as the consorts of Ganapati. This is wrong, says Swami. They are the two manifestation of the divine power or Shakti that Ganapati has. When Buddhi supports and guides, Siddhi, divine power, is one. These two are like two wings. They carry out his will. They place obstacles before bad activities and remove obstacles from the path, Vigna Vinashaka, for the path for good activities. Worship Vinayaka. You acquire Buddhi, pure intellect, and Siddhi, and even Mukti. मुझे शक्ति दो मेरे साई शिवा, मुझे मुक्ति दो भक्ति दो मुझे साई शिवा, मुझे मुक्ति दो मेरे साई शिवा. And we are talking about that great Shiva's son today. The sage from Ananda Kutir, Shivananji Maharaj, says, Ganesh Chaturthi is one of the most popular of Hindu festivals. This is the birthday of Lord Ganesha. It is the day most sacred to Lord Ganesha. It falls on the fourth day of the bright fortnight of Bhadrapada, around August, September. Clay figures of the deity are made, and after being worshipped for 2 days, or in some cases even 10 days, they are thrown into water. His mantra is Om Gang Ganapataye Namaha. Spiritual aspirants who worship Ganesha as their tutelary deity repeat this mantra, or they repeat Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Lord Ganesha represents Om, or the Pranava, which is the chief mantra among the Hindus. Nothing can be done without uttering it. This explains the practice of invoking Ganesha before beginning any rite or any undertaking of any project for that matter. Ganesha is the first god. Riding on a mouse, one of the nature's smallest creatures, and having the head of an elephant, where the mouse and where the elephant, the sage gives us a very great revelation today on this combination of Ganesha, elephant head, and the mouse, Vahana. What does this denote? First of all, it denotes that Ganesha is the creator of all creatures. Elephants are very wise animals. This indicates that Lord Ganesha is the embodiment of wisdom. He doesn't stop there. It also denotes the very process of evolution. A mouse at the lower level, as Ganesha's Vahana, evolves into an elephant and finally becomes a man. That is why Ganesha has a human body of the man, an elephant's head, and a mouse as his vehicle. This is the symbolic philosophy of his form. Salutations to the greatest sage. He explains through this Mokshika, this elephant, and the human form of Ganapati, the very process of evolvement of human from the smallest level to the mightier level as the human form of Ganapati, to ultimately realize self and become God man Ganesha. From the Muchika to divine self. What a beautiful revelation. In the Ganapati Upanishad, Ganesha is identified with the Supreme Self. The legends that are connected with the Lord Ganesha are recorded in the Ganesha Khanda of the Brahma Vivarta Purana. It will be very brief. We just want to touch upon the significance. One of the greatest disciple of this sage from Ananda Kote, Swami Krishnananda Ji Maharaj, whom Shivanand Ji Maharaj used to call as Veda Vyasa in the Kali Yuga. That was the level according to his disciple. He used to address Krishnanand as Hey Bhagwan, Hey Vedavyas, prostrations like this. A guru addresses to the Shishya. Imagine, go back to that era and then live in that Guru Shishya Parampara. How beautiful, how beautiful. Where the disciple excels the Guru and the Guru is so happy about it because that was his mission to see the disciple go past him. What a glory! And this glorious Guru Shishya Parampara is the Dharohar, is the treasure of our heart. Nowhere to be found. Of course, the Western countries took this bit from us and that they are also trying elsewhere. Not that there are no Guru Shishya Paramparas overseas, but the treasure, the need, the foundation of this greatest Guru Shishya Parampara is in our Punya Bhumi Bharat, where the Guru calls the Shishya as Veda Kali Yuga Vyasa. The very first book which Krishnanand Maharaj wrote, digressing for half a minute, Realization of the Absolute. You will have to keep the dictionary, you will have to spend sleepless nights to even understand. That was the very book at a very young age. How many such realized sages are there in our Bharat, known and unknown? Jai Hind, glory, glory to our Bharat. Maharaj says, there is no Hindu who does not recognize the preeminence of the worship of this mysteriously conceived deity called Ganapati, whose name occurs right in the beginning of the Rig Veda itself. We are all very familiar with this Gananam Tva Ganapatim Havamahi. The family of the Bhagavan Shiva is of a peculiar setup. The Lord of all the worlds lives as one possessing nothing. Shiva doesn't have anything. This manner of living in Mount Kailasha by the great master of the yogis, Lord Shiva, is perhaps a demonstration of the great definition of the glory of Bhagavan. The Supreme Being as possessed of all knowledge, all power, and all renunciation. What is Bhagavan and what are his characteristics? In one of the Puranas, Maharaj quotes that father of Vyasadeva gave the following definition of God. Aishwaryasya samagrasya viryasya yashasa shriya jnana vairagyayocha iva sannam bhaga itin gana. The 6 characteristics mentioned are called bhaga, and one who has this bhaga equipped with the 6 characteristics bhaga is called Bhagavan. Aishwarya, all prosperity, all wealth, all treasure, all glory, all magnificence is Aishwarya, not only wealth. Virya, tremendous energy, force, and power. Yashas, fame and renown. Shri, prosperity. Jnana and Vairagya are the pinnacle of wisdom and the pinnacle of renunciation, respectively. Ganesha, son of Shiva, had all these qualities, and hence he is the Lord of Lords, Bhagavan. And digressing for half a minute from this, the son of Shiva, Lord Hanuman, in the context of jnana, how do we worship Hanuman in Hanuman Chalisa? Jai Hanuman Jnana Gunasagar. Goswami Tulsidas ji keeps this virtue guna along with jnana. Here it is jnana vairagya. There it is ocean of wisdom and virtues. Jai Hanuman Jnana Gunasagar. Jai Kapish Tihuloga Ujagar. It is very important to be virtuous when you reach the peak of wisdom. Jnana and Guna, and Hanuman was ocean of Jnana and Guna. Because what happens if you are equipped with full knowledge and less virtue, then Ahankara will set in, Shastra Vasana will set in, and you will start looking down upon others as not ignorant, murk. That is the biggest murkata. So, Jnana Guna Sagar. Along with the Jnana, virtue has to come. Bhavya Jnana Guna Sagar. And at the pinnacle, peak of the Jnana Guna Sagar, he says, Buddhihina Tanujanake. I have no intellect, I have nothing. Again, the same Shiva lineage, Shiva's son. The philosophy behind all these traditional worships and Puranic allegories is that the path of spiritual sadhana is a mystery by itself. And it is not a heroic activity of the sadhaka, as sometimes a sadhaka may imagine wrongly that I am doing something great. No heroism will work here. He gives the kuttu here, Krishnanandji Maharaj, to sadhakas and says, even the so-called heroic attitude, when we sometimes put on, is an entry of the divine force into us. Just as a child's or a little baby's walking is the strength of the mother who is holding it with her hand, whatever intelligence we have, whatever satisfaction we enjoy in this life, whatever strength we possess, whatever security we have, whatever is worthwhile in our existence, is the reflection of God's power. The worship of Maha Ganapati with the mantra Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha is a humble submission of the true circumstance of oneself before the might of the Lord's glory. Who can open one's eyes before God? Who can utter one word before Him? Who can boast of one's learning greatness before Him? Consider the might of the Creator, the magnitude of the power, the depth of His wisdom, His knowledge and omniscience, and our present condition. The moment you begin to take one step in the direction of the holy moment towards God, the world pounces upon you with all its army, because the world is quantitatively larger. We live in the world of quantities. Since we are more attracted towards quantity, when we look at the world, why? Because we require quantitative food. We talk less of quality. In bhajans, in sadhana, everywhere, we talk of quantity. Quantitative drink, quantitative everything. So, when we look at the world quantitatively, the quantity of the world being larger than the quantity of our physical personality, we cannot face it. So there is this humble acceptance of submission and prayer to the great Almighty as manifesting Ganapati, that I am humbled before you. I'm humbled. The Puranas and the epics bring home to us the idea of the necessity to accept the power of God as the only medium by which obstacles can be removed. Vigna Vinashaka. Vigneshwara, the God who is not merely the Ganapati or the ruler of the Ganas, but also a remover of all our impediments on all paths. He who performs this puja with faith, devotion, and concentration obtains all that he desires, underline desires, we will come to it, and attains the highest abode. The beauty here is when one is fulfilled with faith and concentration, that is single pointed devotion, then what kind of desires can he or she have? Only one desire: detach from the world and attach to God. Only to get mumukshatva, craving for liberation. Only to get closer to God and merge with God. That is why in Taittiriya Upanishad, it is said in the Brahmanandavalli first ever verse, where first for the first ever time Brahman was very well defined as Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahman. In the same stanza, it follows that on knowing Brahman, all desires are fulfilled at once. Chinmaya writing commentary on the Taittiriya Upanishad, because he has been in that position as the curious disciple seated in front of Tapovan Maharaj in Uttarkashi, maybe he would have faced the same dilemma when Tapovan Maharaj was teaching Taittiriya Upanishad. So he, for the benefit of all the curious, young, intelligent sadhakas who want a clear answer for all their queries, when the Taittiriya Upanishad says, and when the Guru, we are coming to the end, he is not getting into the Brahman aspect of Upanishad. Relax. When the Guru says, on knowing Brahman, all desires are fulfilled at once. Before that, when the Acharya is explaining about Brahman on Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahman in great detail, Chinmananji writes, the disciple is, oh, well, Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahman, all that is fine. But on knowing Brahman as Satyam Jnanam Anantam, we have time, so I'm taking a couple of minutes. We are coming to end. What will I get? That is the question of every intelligent, curious sadhakas of the Kali age. I will understand Brahmana Satyam Jnanam Anantam, but what will I get in the process? The Acharya gives you an assurance. Well, on knowing Brahman, all your desires would be fulfilled at once. Oh, the sadhaka as well as okay. So, on studying Upanishad, on knowing Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahman, my desires will be fulfilled. There is a stroke, hidden agenda in that. That is the concluding part of today's verse. We talked about all desires getting fulfilled on worshipping Ganesha. In that context, this is being told. You go and reach God. Atmanivedanam. You get into the path of Shavana Manana Nididhyasana. You get closer to Brahman, on knowing Brahman as Satyam Jnanam Anantam. Invoke Brahman as Satyam Jnanam Anantam and meditate incessantly on this Swarupa Lakshana of Brahman Satyam Jnanam Anantam. You go deep, 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 deep. Or in normal devotees context, we go towards Swami, single pointed devotion, and then devotion transforming into love, the love expanding as love towards the entire creation, which is his creation. And then Atmanivedanam. You reach there, you accomplish your goal. Swami explained Gamyam, purpose of the Ga, Ja, Anana. Okay. Face to face with the goal. You reach towards goal, you attain realization, or you attain Swami, you reach God and merge with Him. And at that state, Shrutis, Upanishads gives you an assurance guarantee. If at all you have any desires left out, at that state, all the desires will not be fulfilled in sequential process, but they will all be fulfilled at once together. Shruti is giving a challenge to the disciple. You attain realization, all your desires will be fulfilled. Even when we reach the single pointed devotion, dear brothers and sisters and children, we are not left with any desire. And what to talk of desire when we reach God and merge with God, or we proceed towards realization and attain realization. If you have any desire, Acharya says, I am here. Still, if I am alive, come back to me. Tell me, Acharya, I have attained the God. I have these desires. I will say, Tatastu, all your desires will be fulfilled at once. You cannot get rid of desires at your initial or intermediate stage. What is the way out? The way out is channelize, attach to God. That will automatically detach you from the world. This negative vairagya or the world is bad, this, that, this will not work out, because for how many births you have developed vasanas, sanskaras. Only way out, sadhana. Howsoever worst situation you may be in this world at this point of time or at any point of time, there is only on this Ganesh Chaturthi day. Note this in your spiritual diary. The sky may fall or the earth may go up. World may turn topsy-turvy for you. Everything may go hayway. Nothing may seem to be workable. Only way Only way is to attach to God. To see in the due course of time that the detaching from the world is happening on its own without your deliberation. We pray to Lord Ganesha. May the blessings of Sri Ganesha be upon all of us on this most auspicious day, on which the most auspicious moments of surrender, Samarpan is not a big theory or a big concept. It is all of us getting together at the feet of our dearest Lord, Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba, and then sharing our love with God and sharing our love amongst ourselves as brothers and sisters of this glorious kingdom of Sai. It is just love. Samarpan is just surrender and love. Nothing else, nothing else. Just may He remove all the obstacles that stand in our spiritual path and bestow on us both bhakti and mukti. The bhajan shall be posted in the group separately after the satsang so that the bhajan lovers, like Swami gives chocolates, Swami gives laddu, Swami gives all that bracelets, watches, everything in the spiritual, in the this Satyasai organization, the chocolate, burfi, laddu is all bhajans. Every one of us, including him, every one of us have got attracted to this organization only through bhajans. Okay, so as the chocolate, as the laddu on this glorious Ganesh Chaturthi day, the new bhajan would be posted in the bigger group for all the bhajan lovers to learn the bhajan.